Welcome back, and we are ready to start turn 3. And turn 3 starts with the roll, of course, for initiative. If you remember, we are at 9 minutes past the 0 hour. And previous turn, the Germans had the initiative, and they retained the initiative with a 7 against the 3 from the GIs. So we have a few things we need to do here regarding the regroups. There are some mandatory actions, so the active player must conduct actions with units of an activated platoon during step 1, right? So I choose, imagine I choose platoon, I think this is platoon 3, right? I need to attempt to regroup with the units. In the case of the Americans, I can do it with reaction. So the Germans have the initiative, and they are going to activate platoon number 2. Okay, the assault went well, and they will try to exploit the situation here, while platoon number 3 and the Rolf will be the hinge. So they will try to sweep around here. So the third and the first squads are going to move actually into contact with that disrupted, well, with that disrupted American unit, and Lang, yeah, can go there. There's no ZOCs, no zones of control, so you can't go through. And let's put the counters, but I'm gonna put them kind of sideways so we can see the nice illustrations on the counters. Okay, platoon number 2 has activated. Oh, actually the German player is going to try to coordinate, so he can move 2 platoons, and he misses, needed an 8. Okay, it's time for the Americans to react. The Americans going to react with, so I can react to all with the 3rd platoon. So 3rd platoon here is going to, actually those, let's put them side by side. We'll try to gain cohesion again. Oh, it went, well, it can't be heroic. So basically he missed. Let's test for squad number 1. Leaders can't be heroic, only combat units. Okay, that's a 4 he managed to. Alright, let's put the leader on the bottom, and now we will try to regroup the 3rd squad. Yeah, excellent. It's regrouped. Alright, so the reaction worked. Now this element can still react, but he has a mandatory reaction that he has to regain cohesion. Gonna do that. He went heroic, and he can immediately, wow, God, they grab their guts and say, come on boys, we can't let them pass, and they can immediately take an action. Now I don't know if they have to assault or if they can stand their ground and shoot. Let me just check. Right, the heroic unit must immediately conduct an action, and he has to assault anyone within their range. So they are going to assault a Lang position there. So they are right next to them, so I'm gonna put the assault. Heroic unit, cohesion level is 8. Alright, we have an assault here. Excellent. Glad that we saw a hero. Alright, so that was reaction from platoon 3. Let's put on the top so we know who already moved or not. Okay, now the American player asks if the German player wants to react with anything. Actually, German player will say, yeah, I want to react, and he's going to react with Rolf, with the third platoon. They all can react, so first Rolf for the regroup of the group. They all regrouped nicely. And the first squad will move there. They are in a road, and they are next to the leader unit, so they can do optional reaction. Now, German player passes the reaction back to the Americans. The American says he's going to react with the first platoon here. These ones can't do anything. Basically, they can't really see Jones. Jones gonna fire. He orders, it's the third squad. He orders them to fire into the squad that just appeared in front of them in the woods. So, let's calculate. It's a 1 against the unit that is right next to them, so that's a 0. Carries on 1, and they are in woods, which is -1. It's a 0. So we are firing, we have a 0 there. So that's the reaction. And now American player passes the reaction back to the German. He wants to react with anything, and German says, no, I'm done for now, so back to you with the reactions. And American player doesn't want to react anymore, so that's 2 passes of reactions, so it's back to an activation. And given American player already reacted with the first platoon here, it's already activated. He can still, no, he can't. Was thinking he could react, but no. So what he's going to do is he will try to maneuver as the second platoon. 1, 2, 3. And the light machine, the heavy machine gun as well. So 1.5, 2.5. So both have moved, activated. Let's add hoc units. Just gonna move the camera slightly there to that side so we can see everything. There's the possibility of a reaction from the German player now. That unit can't have the optional maneuvering. This unit has no line of sight for anything, but they can still move 1. That's what they're gonna do. They all move there. Right? Passes the reaction back to the American, nothing else to do. We have everything marked to see what happens. So, player with initiative decides, we have to calculate the assault odds there. So, let's do it like we did in the last time. Let's do this calculation. So, the Germans have a 7 plus 1 because of the hill. So that's 8. The Americans have an 8, so that comes down to a 0, and that's absolutely nothing else to calculate. There is, because actually it's a -1. Germans have 3 assault value, The Americans have 2. So what's happening is that the Americans are assaulting. The assault is at a -1. All right, let's resolve this. So German player decides in which order the combats are resolved. I'm going to resolve immediately the assault. The Americans are assaulting. It's a 4. What happens on a 4? We have there 2 to 5. Attacker must retreat, and each retreating non-vehicular unit must take a cohesion test. Okay, they lose the hero status. They must retreat, which is away from the enemy. 2, 3. It's 2 or 4. Man, they will run really away from the third, but 1, 2, 3, 4. And we make a cohesion test. They're no longer hero, so they lose cohesion. What else? We have to check for leader losses. There's no leader loss there. There's a possibility that Lang gets killed. No, he's fine. So perfect. The Germans held off perfectly fine with no problems. Let's take the counters out. Okay, southern end is solved. So now for that firing, we are with a 0. Yeah, lots of shooting and but still the first squad of 3rd platoon hangs tough. And that's the end of turn 3. Let's do a cleanup and adjust the time lapse there. So it was the Germans that had the initiative, so they will roll. So that's a 3 minutes. 1, 2, 3. And we are now at 12 minutes. So from the very start of the battle, 12 minutes have passed. The casualties are still equal. So they are giving as good as they are getting. And it's still not critical. All right. Turn number 4. Americans got a 10. We must roll on the die fate, but initiative is for the Americans. We're gonna roll on the fate table, which is a 10. Panic. As the sole action for the current game turn, all units in a single X selected by the opposing player and in line of sight of an enemy combat unit must withdraw 4 X's or to a hex along friendly board edge, whichever is closer. So the Germans can select any units four X's away, but they must be in line of sight. These ones I could put them there because half squares count for the map, or we can this is not in line of sight, so this can't be, but can be this one. So 4, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, basically they go there to the edge. That's fate. Here we go. We didn't die. It's a 7. 4 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are now at 16 minutes. So this was the end of the turn 4, and we have to roll for initiative for turn 5, but we'll do that in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Point out any mistakes I've did, give suggestions. I mean, this is the first time I'm doing this, so it's pretty much do-it-yourself material. I don't have, it's just smartphone and headphones and all that, so, and my PC for the editing. So have a good one, have a great weekend. Cheers.